going on, so I'm just gonna follow his lead.
So our one-on-one today is all about if you have issues with an instructor. And I do have to ask, were these picked at random? Okay, good.
Well, they were randomly
Assigned.
assigned, but these are the topics that are on the syllabus are frequently
The ones that we see all the time.
Okay. Because I find that ironic because, oddly enough, issues with the instructor is the thing that I've gone through the most at UVU. So I find that ironic, the fact that I have a lot of experience in that field. I think Kellen knows a little bit about the history with me. And let me tell you a story. So years ago at UV, there was a class that I was really involved in. I really wanted to get into and learn programming, C++ program. And I got into the class and things weren't going the best way that I wanted, but I'm just like, I'm stubborn, I can do this, I can accomplish this class. All my other classes were doing great. Did A's in every single class except for this one, and I kept on. I was getting syntax errors, and I don't know if anybody knows what a syntax error is. Okay.
I'm having that issue right now in my
Okay,
C# class.
beautiful. No,
not beautiful.
Not
I
even
know.
close to beautiful. And they are crazy. In fact, that's beautiful. I like that. So
Sucks.
yes, and you'll have experience to tell us all about that. So syntax error, something's going wrong that I still don't know exactly what a syntax error is, besides a pain in the bum. So I kept on getting syntax errors with my programs, and I would go to, and this was a couple years ago, they've actually, UVU's done great to improve things, they have like a mentor, but I would go to like the lab and try to pick the person's brain of what is going wrong on these. And they just didn't know because they were just the general guy. There wasn't like a programmer guy in there. So, long story short, I was doing everything I could, and I finally started going to the instructor. I'm just like, I am falling behind. I'm not being able to submit my assignments because my assignments are not working. And this is where things get a little bit crazy. He started off, he would set up times to where we could meet and we can kind of go over the code, but he wouldn't show up. And that was frustrating. I'm just like, wait a second, we cleared these out. And then it got to the point that he just refused to help. And this is very uncommon at UV. This is, I've checked, the instructor is not with us anymore. But it was overly frustrating because I was past the point that I could get out of the class, and I got to the point where I'm just like, there's nothing else I can do. I can't complete these. I'm falling further and further behind, and there's no, like, I could not see anywhere to go. And that's really what we're talking about here is kind of, we're trying to solve these problems, and this is something I've been thinking about all week long. Is this is one of the main reasons that I wanted to become a mentor, is to help people not go through all the craziness I've had to go through, because I've gone through a lot of craziness. But if I could help someone say, no, you don't have to, because eventually I gave up on the class, and I don't want anybody to ever give up on the class. I just stopped building. I was past the point of no return. There was no hope for me because I couldn't do assignments. The instructor refused to work with me. I threw up my hands and just focused on my other classes. And I'm currently paying for the consequences of that. And like everybody else would, you can't do that kind of stuff. But I was between a rock and a hard spot. So that's my story. And the thing where we're actually going to, well, do you have anything? Okay.
Not yet. I haven't had any issues with my instructor.
See, and that's good. That's awesome. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to break up into two groups, and we're going to grab Darren and Rob. And we're gonna have 2 groups of 4. And from what you know about UVU, I want you guys to come up with what you guys would do in this instance. You have an instructor that's not working with you, or if you've had experiences that are anywhere close to this, please bring those up. Me and Amber will be kind of in the other groups as well, to kind of help out if need be. But that's what we want to do, is we want to try to figure this, because eventually we might have mentorees that run into problems like this. And I think it'd be beautiful to kind of figure out, okay, we're in that situation, what would we do? Actually, okay, so the first 3 people are in a group plus Darren, and the last 3 people are in a group plus Rob. And then we'll do some crazy stuff once we kind of get into it a little bit further. That's all right. That's all I did. Didn't tell it. But yeah, if you guys want to group up, we're going to try to figure out what we can do in that kind of situation. Or if you've had situations like that before, yeah, bring those ones up. I'm curious to see your problem-solving skills on this. All right, great.